On this video, we're going to talk about what to say to your kid after a school shooting has happened because it's super awkward and you don't know what to say and it's a difficult conversation. I got you. So let's go. So, there's four big things that we want to talk about in this video. The first one is location, location, location. No, I'm not a realtor, but it does play a role in having this conversation with your child. So what I want you to do, the very first thing is I want you to let your child choose where they want to have this conversation, wherever they feel the most comfortable. So is it in their bed? Is it in the living room? Is it in the basement? Is it in a reading nook? Wherever your child feels the most comfortable, that's where you want to have this conversation. So first tip, location, location, location. Second tip is that you want to reinforce safety by utilizing touch. But you also only want to make it so that your child feels comfortable with the touch. You don't want to be like all over your child and hugging and snuggling with them if they don't like it. That is bad for relationships. Don't do that. But I'm talking about holding hands, wrapping your arms around your child, cuddling with them, snuggling with them, whatever it is, having them in your lap and facing them so you can see their emotions on their face. Those are all good options. Or if you have a child that's not so big on touch, or maybe you have a teenager, well, then maybe you're having a conversation where you're facing each other, or maybe you're having this conversation in a car because that's where they feel safe and it's less awkward to kind of be facing each other, or maybe it's on a walk. Again, location, 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 and you want to reinforce safety by physical touch. Now, the third step, this is probably the most difficult step for parents to do, especially for teenagers, is all I want you to do is turn on your listening ears and listen. Super important. You want to listen and you want to hear what they are saying. You want to make sure that you're not giving them advice, that you're not problem solving. You simply want to listen. You want to act as if you're a mirror. So they give you information and you're going to reflect that emotion back. Oh, I feel that I hear that you're feeling scared right now. That's what you want to be saying. You want to be asking them additional questions. So go into like the 4 steps of active listening. You want to remove all distractions, get those phones out of here, get them out of here. We don't need them. We don't want them. They are relationship killers. The second step of active listening is you want to be making eye contact. It is huge. Now, some kids, especially those on the autism spectrum, are not comfortable with eye contact. If that's your child, then adapt this. The third one is you want to reflect what the emotions, the feelings that they're saying. And then the 4th step of active listening is that you want to be asking additional questions just to get more information from them. So listening. The active listening is huge. So that's step 3. The last step is you want to keep it high level and direct. You don't want to think about like that analogy where it's like, oh, you want to be looking at the forest and not the trees. We're doing forest level kind of conversations here, not tree level conversations, because we don't want to give them all of the details. So that's why it's super important to let the child lead the conversation, because then you're only giving them as much information as details as they've already thought about. If they haven't already thought about it, well, you don't want to make them feel more scared because they're not ready for that information. So make sure that the information that you are providing them is as a developmentally appropriate and age appropriate. So you want to keep those things in mind. So a recap. So location, location, location. Let your child choose the location. You want to reinforce safety by physical touch that your child is comfortable with. 3, turn on those listening ears. Just listen to what your child is saying and engage in active listening. And I give you those 4 tips. Then the 4th step is to keep it high level and direct. Remember that forest analogy, not the trees. And now, because I know people like 5 tips over 4 tips, and my fractional brand manager will appreciate this, is parents. This one is specifically for you. When a school shooting happens, wait 48 hours before you do all of the research on the what is all going on, because in that first 48 hours news is just giving you information and they're not doing a whole lot of fact checking, and so you don't want to be bombarded with wrong information. So give yourself 48 hours and then check the news after a school shooting. Obviously, make sure that your child is safe and all of those things, but you can still have those conversations, and then maybe you're doing research after that 48 hours. So, those are my 4 tips, secretly 5, because we know 5 is better than 4. What to say to your kids after a school shooting. Bye now.